Chapter 31. In a white room with white curtains there was a chair, a table, and a bed, none of which merited mention. Upon a white wall, however, there was a great chart, and before this stood Inspector Sherringford Horvis. The chart was a complicated affair resembling, at first glance, an underground railway map designed by an infant. At second glance, it didn't look a lot better either. The overall design was that of an uncapped pyramid, the baseline crowded with newspaper cuttings, photographs, mysterious samples in plastic bags, numbers listed upon shop receipts, odds and bods. Red lines running variously from odd to bod traced intricate networks which occasionally converged. The pyramid was 2/3 covered by such plottings. The apex was bare, but for a few pencil lines and a large black question mark which crowned the whole. Inspector Horvis cupped his left elbow in his right palm and dug his left forefinger into his right nostril. He sucked air through his teeth, withdrew his rooting digit, and tapped at the enigmatic wall decoration. The object of this particular attention was a single charred photograph into which a great number of red lines converged, giving it the appearance of a terminus in the manic metro system. Horvis leant forward and stared, eye to bleary eye, with the photographic image of James Arbuthnot Pooley.
"I will have you, laddie,"
he said, giving the red face a summary tap upon the cheek. So saying, he turned his attention towards a branch line and traced the route to a single stop. Here were what views of the much-beloved untouchables lovingly referred to as mugshots. These displayed front face and profiles of two twins with braided hair and folded brows. Beneath were the names Paul and Barry Geronimo. Inspector Horvis hooked a finger into his watch chain and drew out his regal chimer, the very chiming pocket watch that featured in Pooley's favourite western. But shootouts with Mad Indio were not in the forefront of the great detective's mind as he perused the dial and said the single word,
"Late."
As if in an answer there came a rhythmic knocking at his chamber door. Horvis draped a bedsheet over his chart.
"Brentford,"
said he. The two braves entered.
"We bring greetings from the tribes of the north,"
said Paul.
"We travel with speed of prairie wind to answer call of great white brother." "Hot moccasin,"
Barry agreed.
"We kid you not."
"Quite so, gentlemen. Kindly be seated."
Espying the only chair, which was now occupied by Horvis, Paul and Barry lowered themselves cross-legged to the lion-oar.
"We smoke many pipes, tell many tales,"
said Paul hopefully.
"Got plenty firewater in medicine bag."
He patted his designer briefcase with the buckskin fringes. Inspector Horvis shook his head firmly.
"Smoke many pipes later, but for now, what news?"
"Much news."
Paul made expansive gestures.
"Many wonders in heavens and upon lands of the white eyes. In Chiswick, they say, squaw gave birth to purpose in shape of fish. Stars fall on Alabama. Blue moon seen over Kentucky. Famous TV personality named in Pony Girl love stable scandal. Only last night, Brother Barry seen many strange things at Sisters Anne Summers' party. All portents show times of great tribulation ahead. Old Sandell predict."
Yes," said Horvis. "Such news troubles the heart of great white brother."
He tapped at his chest.
"But it is not written that brave who beat about cactus and try pull buffalo hide over policemen's eyes gets banged up in the cells with much time to muse upon error of ways."
"Point taken," said Paul.
"So what? News." "Much news,"
Paul continued.
"Lorries you inquire about held up for an hour by traffic jam. Traffic jam caused by roadworks in High Street. Roadworks fracture gas main. All vehicles have to be abandoned while gas mains fixed for fear of explosion."
"Yes," said Horvis.
"I know as much."
"Ah," said Paul.
"But not know that it's not gasboard van that came out to fix leak."
Horvis nodded thoughtfully.
Tell me more. Look like gasboard van,
Paul continued.
Idea driver seemed genuine. Driver spend much time chatting with policemen on duty at site while work done, but gasboard deny all knowledge of either gas leak or call-out.
Horvis nodded once more.
Very clever, said he. Very clever indeed. Criminals cunning as desert dingo, but not too cunning for braves. Go on then. Now come clever bit that earned braves big kudos. We follow Great White Brother's method and have powwow with constable who on duty at roadworks. Tell him perhaps they made a big mistake, and you wear his wedding tackle on watch chain when you find out. Him eager to oblige and tell us all he know. Very good indeed. Go on.
Paul grinned.
Constable tell us that he actually escort gasboard van through traffic jam from High Street on his bike. See van enter grounds of great gasometer. Driver even bung him price of drink for his trouble.
The inspector's fears fell.
Then it was a real gasboard van after all,
he cried. Paul shook his head, smirking mightily.
Nothing of sort, said he. Braves think things not add up, so check with gasboard again. Gasboard tells us they do not own gasometer in Brentford, deny all knowledge. In fact, they tell us they never own gasometer in Brentford. There is no gasometer in Brentford.
What?
Inspector Horvis scratched at his snowy pelt of hair.
But it's there for all the world to see.
All world may see it, but it not real gasometer, that for certain.
Then what?
Brave suggested headquarters of International Crime Syndicate.
Inspector Horvis wiped away the goodly amount of perspiration that now clung to his noble brow.
We get stuck into firewater now, he said.